Hi students, welcome to English class. We'll continue with the chapter The Selfish Giant Part 2.
My own garden is my own garden.
Said the giant.
I will allow nobody to play in it but myself.
So he built a high wall all around it and put up a notice board. Trespassers will be prosecuted.
So now, let's with the class. Then the spring came, and all over the country there were little blossoms and little birds. So now, after a few months, the spring came, the next season came. And all over the country, there were little blossoms and little birds. You know what's blossoms, right? There were flowers and birds all over the country. Only in the garden of the selfish giant, it was still winter. But in the garden of selfish giant, what was the season there? It was still winter season. While the entire country was enjoying spring season, it was like a punishment given by God. It was still winter in the giant's garden. The birds did not care to sing in it, and there were no children, and trees forgot to blossom. So, what is the condition of giant's garden now? It was still winter season. The birds did not care to sing. No birds were singing there, and no children were found there. Why are there no children in that garden? We know the reason, right? He has put a board outside the gate saying trespassers will be prosecuted. As a result, children never thought of entering his garden, or children were never permitted to enter his garden, and trees forgot to blossom. And moreover, since there are no more children in the garden, birds didn't feel like singing then. And also, trees forgot to flower over there. Trees were bare without any flowers and fruits. Once, a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, but when it saw the notice board, it was so sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. So one day, a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, thought of blooming out from the grass. But when it saw the notice board, but it found what out near the gate? There was a notice board. And what was written on the notice board? Trespassers will be prosecuted. Finding that board, it was so sorry for the children, and it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. Even the flower thought, why should I enter this garden if there is no more children here? So it went back into the soil. The only people who were pleased were the snow and the frost. So the only people who felt happy to be in this garden now is snow, or now are snow and frost. You know what's snow, right? We know what's frost also. Snow and frost could be seen during which season? Is it during summer or winter? It's during winter season. And winter season is usually marked as a gloomy season. Isn't it? Winter season is marked as a gloomy season. So which are the items which thought of entering or which preferred to be in this giant's garden now? It is snow and frost. Spring has forgotten this garden, they cried. So we will live here all year round. So they were telling, spring has forgotten this garden, they cried. So we will live here all the year round. So they were telling, since the spring is not planning to make a visit to this garden, frost and snow said that we can live here throughout the year. That is, we need not allow spring to enter. Since spring is not entering to this garden, we can live here throughout. The snow covered up the grass with her great white clock, and the frost painted all the trees silver. So, what is the snow doing? The snow covered the green grass with a white cloak. That is, the entire green grass was covered with a white outer garment. Cloak means a long, loose outer garment. So, it is not like the grass is covered with white dress actually. It is only a metaphor used here. Metaphor means symbolizing something. So, the snow, we know the color of snow was white. So, instead of the green grass, what one can find over there is only a white snow everywhere. So, snow covered the green grass with a white cloak. And the frost painted all the trees silver. Moreover, the trees are no more with flowers and fruits. The entire tree from the top to the bottom seems to be silver in color because it is all covered with frost and snow. So you understood what is meant by this cloak. It's a loose outer garment. This is what we call as cloak, a loose outer garment. This is the clock. Then they invited the north wind to stay with them, and he came. So the snow and frost said that since spring is not making a visit to this garden, we will live here all throughout the year. And then they invited the north wind to stay with them, and he came. Moreover, they invited north wind also. North wind is again the wind which blows especially during the winter season. They invited the north wind to stay with them, and he came. So now what will be the condition of the giant's garden? It will be covered with snow, then again with frost, and most of the time we can also find the wind blowing. He was wrapped in furs. So let's see how this north wind looked like. He was wrapped in furs, and he roared all day about the garden and blew the chimney pots down. So this north wind is also again wrapped in furs. It was also very, very cold, icy cold wind. And he roared. We know the winds always roar, right? It roared all the day about the garden, entire day. It kept on roaring about the garden and even blew the chimney pots down. It was a very horrible wind there. This is a delightful spot, he said, and North Wind is telling, oh, I like this spot a lot. Which is the delightful spot mentioned here? It is the garden of our giant. Understood? So, the North Wind is telling, oh, I like this garden a lot. This is a very good spot, he said. We must ask the ale to visit us. So, North Wind is telling, I will bring another friend of mine. And who's the next friend of this North Wind? It is hail. Already we have snow and frost here. Snow and frost is invited North Wind. So North Wind also liked this spot a lot. Spot is the garden of the giant, the beautiful garden of the giant. So the North Wind is inviting another friend, that is hail. You know what's meant by hail? Hail is a small, hard pellets of ice that fall from the sky like rain. Maybe you are familiar with it. You might have learned in geography and so, right? So if required, I'll show you the picture of hail too. This is what we call as hail. Small pellets of, these are the small pellets of ice. And don't think that it's very cool and very slight or simple item. It can cause much destruction. It is capable of damaging our roofs, window panes and everything. So, this we must ask hail to visit us. So, the hail came. So, the next partner who came there? It is a hail. Every day for 3 hours, He rattled on the roof of the castle till he broke most of the slates, and then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. So, what is the hail doing? What did the wind do? North wind roared all the day about the garden, and he blew the chimney pot. Right. What is a hail doing? What hail is doing here is every day for 3 hours he rattled. You know what's meant by rattling? I'll let you hear the rattling sound now. Oh, that's what we call as rattling. Heard it, no? Yeah. Every day for 3 hours he rattled on the roof of the castle till he broke most of the slates. And then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. So again, the hail was also creating much destruction to that garden. He kept on rattling for around 3 hours. And then he broke the slates. You know what slates, no? The roof, a tile. You might have seen the roof tiles and so, somewhat like that. And then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. He was dressed in grey and his breath was he was dressed in grey and his breath was like ice. So, what was the color of the hail? It was grey color and his breath was like ice. Again, he was also very icy cold. So, what did the snow do? Snow covered the entire garden with her white cloak. What did the frost do? Frost painted the trees with silver color. What did the north wind do? North wind, who was wrapped in furs, roared all the day about the garden and blew the chimney pot. What did the hail do? Hail rattled for around 3 hours daily on the roof of the castle and broke the slates of the castle. What was the color of the hail? It was dressed in grey and it was also icy cold. I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming, said the selfish giant as he sat at the window and looked out at the cold white garden. So, the selfish giant was one day sitting near the window of his garden. The garden has become cold and white garden, and he was telling to himself, I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming. I hope there will be a change in weather, and he was consoling himself. I hope there will be a change in weather. One day spring will visit my garden. But did the spring come? But the spring never came, nor the summer. The autumn gave golden fruits to every garden, but to the giant's garden she gave none. So now, in all other garden, it became autumn season. Autumn gave golden fruits to all other gardens, but to the giant's garden she gave none. She didn't give even a single fruit. He is too selfish, she said. So the autumn season was telling to others. The giant is too selfish, she said. So it was always winter there, and north wind and the hail and frost and snow danced through the trees. So the autumn never visited his garden. So it was winter throughout. The north wind, the hail, the frost, and snow were the main members in his garden. They danced throughout in the garden. One morning, the giant was lying awake in the bed when he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears that he thought it might be the king's musicians passing by. So one morning, the giant was lying awake in the bed when he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears that he thought it might be the king's musicians passing by. So, because of the beauty of the music, he thought that maybe it is the king's band of musicians passing by. So you want to know who was singing there? So let's wait till the next class. So we'll wind up the class today. And till we meet again, goodbye.